Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hippie Moms podcast. I'm so excited to welcome Vivek Gulati. Vivek, welcome.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah,
happy to be here. Yes.
I'm so glad you're here. Our
Yes.
kids actually go to school together, and we have a lot of things in common. I believe on being present, mindful, and I actually went to an event that you held recently in Albuquerque. It was so beautiful, so life-changing, and I really want to share this message and these resources with our listeners. So I would love for you to start, kind of tell us a little bit about your background and then lead us into what the art of living is.
Yes.
Okay.
So by profession, I'm an engineer, so I grew up in India and then I moved to the US for grad school. And I've had, software engineering background for many number of years. And like you said, our sons, my son and your sons go to the same school. Um, the thing I want to say is, so that's all the like normal things in life. But what I'm really passionate about is bringing resources to people so that they have a say on their own mind. Right?
Mm,
I mean, if we look at how I grew up or how most people grow up, we have like the story I tell people is when I was growing up, my dad would say, "Don't get angry," right? And but then when he's saying it, he himself is getting angry, right? So I mean,
yeah.
so that
Thinking as a child,
it's
you're
good,
so confused by that. You're like, okay, I don't know what to do with this.
or like we tell our kids focus, right? I mean, like, or when I was growing up in middle class India, I would be told like, okay, behave. Like, what does that mean, right? So
Yeah.
what happens for many of us is that we experience negative emotions, right? Anger, guilt, regret, shame, anxiety, fear, all of these things. But neither at home, nor at school, nor in a church or a temple have we been taught how to handle those emotions.
Mm,
And what happened for me was, when I was in college in India, I saw a flyer on my dorm notice board which said the Art of Living course. And I still very distinctly remember looking at that flyer and having this thought, what can they teach me about life? I should find out. And
mm,
boy, that was like the most beautiful coincidence or like happening in my life because it changed things for me.
mm,
And when I attended that program, it's a very simple idea that if you really think about, see, for every emotion that we have, there is a corresponding rhythm in the breath. Right? When we are angry, we breathe differently, right? Short, shallow, fast.
I want to repeat that.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
every emotion we have in the body, there's a
Yes.
corresponding rhythm in the
In the
breath.
breath. Yes.
I
Right?
love that.
Right? I mean, like, see, if you've been to a scary movie, how do they demonstrate fear? It's like, right?
Yeah.
There's an inhale and
Yeah.
there's no
And also
exhale
holding of the
and
breath. You're
holding
not
of the
even
breath.
breathing. You're like waiting for
Right.
what's next. Yeah.
Right. And or if somebody is sick or there's like a pronounced exhale, right?
Mm,
So this is true. Like if you think about it, yeah, this is true. And what this program does, this art of living, the idea is very simple. Change your breath to change how you feel.
mm.
And my mind was blown away. I'm like, this is so simple and yet so
Yeah.
profound, right? So eventually, I started digging more into it and I became an instructor for us. I volunteered my time to organize and teach these programs. And I found that this to be most fulfilling thing that I've ever done in my life, like teaching these programs.
Mm.
Just recently, we've started teaching at the penitentiary in New Mexico, right out of Santa Fe.
That's
So we've done
amazing.
a couple of programs for inmates, and I'll tell you just like a couple of anecdotes from it. Like so, guy, he said, for the first time I realized that actually I'm a bag of emotions, and these emotions are coming up, and I have tools to process them. I'm like, whoa!
Wow. It's saying that we're not taught this from an early age, Vivek.
Yeah, yeah.
They taught don't have emotions. But we're like, wait a minute. That's like That's like the whole point of a human experience. Well, there's many points, but that's the experience of being
Yeah,
human is having emotions. And
yes.
it's so confusing. I mean, I think many are listening are still quite confused.
Yeah, and it's both ways, right? So one is don't have emotions, and that
Yeah.
can shrink us down. And
Yeah.
then what happens as a result is either, we suppress them
Mhm.
or we just blow up, right? I mean, so and both
Yeah.
of them are not healthy, right?
Mm-mm.
The founder of Art of Living, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, is a renowned spiritual leader from India. So what he says is, look, as in human being, emotions are a part of life, but how long they stay in us is important. Like
It's
if you look at,
important.
is important, right? So
Yeah.
if you look at a baby, right? It's not that the baby doesn't get angry, or little kids. It's not that they don't get angry. They get
Yeah.
angry, and in that moment of anger, their whole body becomes anger, and then
Mhm.
90 seconds later, they're out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
As adults, what we tend to do is we don't express it fully, we don't experience the emotion fully, and then it lingers on, right? And so
Mhm.
that's like the example he would say is, he says the emotion should last as long as a line lasts on the surface of the water, and then after that, it's okay, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
okay.
and I want to really dissect that because
Yeah.
in order to fully express an emotion, you have to feel safe.
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
feel safe. You have to feel
Yes.
safe in yourself
Uh-huh.
for that emotion to be expressed. And then you also have to be safe in the environment that you're in,
So
right?
I think what I want to distinguish is like expression is one part, but experiencing it is another part.
I
Like
love
I
that.
can experience the anger, like I can notice that, okay, anger is rising up in me,
Yeah.
but I don't need to really like verbalize it, or, you know,
Mm,
just like lash out at somebody or
right.
suppress it and then hold it within, and,
Right.
right? But to be able to experience it fully, okay, yeah, it's there,
Yeah.
and then I can move on, right?
Yeah, so what I'm sensing is being able to be spacious, right?
Yeah.
You're allowing the vibrations of that emotion to move through you, and you're not trying to stop it, push it down. You're just allowing it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, yes.
Wow. Because that really does give you a say on your own mind and gives you so much power. I mean, really, we're talking about the greatest power we have as humans, is to have a say in our own mind, have a
Absolutely.
say in how we express, how we show up in the world. But we both know we weren't shown that. I
We weren't
mean,
shown
I
that,
don't know
yes.
who was actually raised by enlightened, conscious parents. I mean, I've never met anyone. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but I sure wasn't. And I don't know if you would agree, but as I became a mother, I thought I was going to be the best mom, like just the best. I'm going to be so cool and calm and collected, and I was none of that. I was triggered, I was irritated, I was frustrated, and I didn't understand why. And then I started to understand, like, wow, I'm actually my parents. I'm parenting how my parents did. And
Yes,
that was like mind blowing. And that's when I really wanted to change it because we pass these behaviors on to our kids.
absolutely. And also, the thing about kids is that it's not so much what we say, right? It's they feel us, right? They feel us
Yeah.
much more than our words, right? So that is why, especially for parents, especially for moms, it's important to have some tools in their pocket where, like, okay, I can address my emotions, I can be centered, and
Yeah.
from that space of centeredness, I can, handle everything, right? So
I love that.
that's, yeah, it's very critical that way, I think.
It is, yeah, because they do definitely feel the incoherence between what you're saying and how you're being,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yeah.
You're just like, don't be angry or stop yelling. You're like, wait a minute, I don't understand this. And I think what happens to his kids is when they see that discrepancy, they don't feel safe and then they don't trust you.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. And
that's
it's very unconscious.
It
It's
is.
very
Yes. Yeah.
unconscious.
It's not necessarily our fault
Yeah,
because that's just how we were taught, how we were
yeah,
shown, but we have this opportunity, a responsibility, right? To
yeah,
to change and to redirect. the way that we parent. So, can you give me a little bit of some of the tools? You said the breath. What other tools does the art of living uh, touch on and teach about?
So I would say there are two aspects. Okay, so
Okay.
one aspect is the practical tools, and
Mm.
they're mostly based on the breath. The main technique there is a technique called sky breath. This is something, so the story is, that Gurudev, he was teaching people meditation right from, young age, and he found it was very hard for people to meditate. So he had this intention that, okay, I want to give people some tools so that their mind can settle down, they can experience meditation, they can experience the depth of their own being.
Mm.
And with that intention, he went into a period of silence, 10 days in India, in a small village. And he said that, at the end of it, just like how a poem comes to a poet, this technique, the sky breath, came to him. And he
Wow.
started teaching people around him. And people had such transformative experiences, just mind boggling.
Wow.
And now, this was 45 years ago. And now this technique is being taught in over 180 countries. There
Wow.
are about 35,000 teachers who are teaching this all around the world. And, scientists became curious about, okay, what happens in this technique? And there are more than 100 published studies which say everything from, like your immune system becomes better, your focus improves, you're
Mm.
more present, it's easier to let go of the past, like so many of these benefits. Gene expression changes, like if you're predisposed to certain conditions, your
Mm.
gene expression changes so that those, genes don't express.
Wow.
There's a study done on veterans who came back from, like with PTSD. This was out of University of Wisconsin in Madison. So they had a group of veterans. They experienced the sky breathing, and they were taught how they could practice on their own, afterwards. So at the beginning of the study, there's a, standard way to measure PTSD, right? So they scored whatever they scored. Week later, after they went through the program, the symptoms were down, right? That is to me, when I saw that study, I'm like, okay, that's expected. Okay.
Yeah.
What was surprising is that after that 1 week, they were not told whether to practice. Like nobody kept track, did they practice daily or not? But they were brought back a month later and the symptoms stayed down. And then they were brought back a year later and the symptoms stayed down. I'm like, wow, this is amazing, right? That's
Amazing.
There's a
Wow.
documentary called "Free the Mind." That's where the study is captured, and like is explained. So
Breathe the mind. Okay, that's a
free the
documentary.
mind.
I'll put that in the
Yes.
show notes.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. So really the breath is the main
Main
focus. You
focus.
said there were two aspects. You
Yes.
named that one, okay?
The second aspect is, reframing how we experience life. Okay.
Mm.
Um, so to give you an example, okay, if we look at ourselves, okay, normally when we relate to ourselves, we don't really look, we don't really look at it in details. But there are 7 levels to our existence. Okay, so there's the body, then
Mhm.
there's the breath, then there's the mind. The mind is where thoughts come, feelings come, those kind of things, right? Then beyond the mind is our intellect.
Mm.
Intellect is that part of us which says, okay, this is right, this is wrong. I like this, I don't like this.
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
faculty in us, right?
Yeah.
Beyond the intellect is our memory, which
Mm.
is the storehouse of all past experiences, right? And then is our ego, right? Ego is, it's like it says, okay, Becky and Vivek are two different people, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. Separate.
right.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think that, oh, ego means I'm better than you, but ego can also give you the feeling I'm not as good, right? So both
Yeah.
are forms of ego.
Totally. It's a comparison, right?
Comparison, right?
You're different. You're separate than me.
Yes,
I'm better and
yes.
worse. We're on different levels. Yeah.
Different levels, right?
Okay.
And then beyond all of these six is a space in us which is the silent space within us.
Mm.
Whether we call it spirit or whatever name we give it, it doesn't matter. But it's the reference point in us which is unchanging. Right?
Mm.
Like all the other 6 levels, they change all the time, right?
Yeah.
So the second part of the program is, in addition to the breath work, techniques, is really understanding these layers. So to give you a simple example, if you wanted to build muscles, okay, you have to put effort into it. You have to go to the gym regularly. You have to work out. All those things. You have to eat right. Like we know all of that, right?
Yeah.
So anything to do with the body requires effort.
Hmm.
It's a different law. But anything to do with the mind requires effortlessness,
I love
right?
that.
So,
Yeah.
for example, I'm sure you've had this experience. Let's say put your keys somewhere, and then you're trying to remember where did I put my keys, right? Now, the more effort you put into remembering it, the more we don't remember, right? I mean, this
No,
is we
totally.
know
You get
this,
all frustrated and flustered. You're never gonna find it.
right? But the moment you relax, then suddenly that idea comes. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's where I put it, right?
so true. Yeah.
So understanding, okay, how do these different layers work, right?
Hmm.
Um, and the practical outcome of all of this, right? The breathing techniques and this wisdom is that we can live a life which is more at ease, like at ease with who we are, at ease with what is happening around us. Um, and especially now, if we look at the world, there is so much like uncertainty and you know things going like unexpected things happening, so much division.
Yeah.
How do you find some solid ground amongst all of
Yeah.
this, right?
Oh my gosh, that's everything.
And the more we look outwards, the more we look at the world and people and situations around us, the more we feel this is not solid.
Yeah, it's not solid. It's not safe. What am I doing? What is
Right?
this?
Right? But what helps is, like I was saying, there's this place in us which is silent, which is,
Yeah.
being able to log on to that aspect of us. That's where true strength comes from, right?
Yes. And that's where like true wisdom comes. That's where
Yeah.
like the divine intelligence, those divine ideas, those it's like that certainty you're saying. Like
Yes.
there's
Yes.
nothing more you truly need
Yeah.
because when you access that point, you just like it's like a full body, full breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, ease, like just a
Ease.
release
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and it's so true because we do tend to just focus on the external world and we get so caught up that we're just spinning and spinning and and then we're all so wound up, we're going to explode. So we have to really start to unwind and
Yeah.
and come into that place. So when's the breath, are they like meditations? Are they guided? What exactly does Art of Living offer once you move
Yeah.
through the breath? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So like I said, the main technique is the sky breath, right?
Yeah.
So over a course of a weekend, it takes, about 9, 10 hours to actually go through this, to learn this.
Okay.
So usually, typically, it's taught over a weekend, like Friday night and then Saturday, Sunday, 3 days.
Okay.
In that time, A, you experience the sky breath, right?
Mhm.
And B, which I think is the most fascinating, is you learn how to do it on your own. And you
Yeah.
can make it a daily practice,
Hmm.
right? So really the focus of Art of Living is to empower individuals. It's like, okay, once you learn this technique,
Yeah.
even if you never see the instructor again, you can still practice on your own for the rest of your life.
I love that.
Of course, there is a community around it, and people get together and practice together. The instructors are available, and to help you through all of this. But that's the philosophy behind all of that is, okay, we want to give
Yeah.
people tools, practical tools and techniques, so that everybody can take care of their own mind. You know, Many times we have this idea that, oh, we want to create a happy, peaceful world, right? But if you really think about it, the secret of doing that is happy, peaceful individuals. Right?
Yes, it's so true.
It's if
That's so true.
right? Like that's what Gurudev would say. He says, you know, my vision is a stress-free, violence-free society. Right?
I love that.
And the society is made up of individuals. If individuals are happy and stress-free, I mean, like we know this already.
Yeah.
If you have one person in your family who is, mentally not settled, they
Yeah.
create a problem for 100 other people, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. It spreads like wildfire. It really does. How can you feel settled? Because all of our nervous systems are co-regulating. And so it
Yeah.
can take one person. So we all
Yes.
need to put in that, that focus
Yeah.
on settling ourselves and the internal world, right? The internal world is where we go in to harmonize this external world. That's the only way we can do it. We've been trying so far, so long, Vivek, to like change the world, change it. You can't change the world, you change yourself, right? Be the
Yeah.
change you wish to see. There could be more truth to that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And for me, what is fascinating is, yes, like we have this desire to change the world. What the Art of Living and Gurudev have done are provided concrete tools and techniques that actually work in this present day and age.
Yeah.
Like I heard him say once, he was saying that, nature knows what to bring forth when. So
Mm,
in this day and age, this is the technique that was needed. Not
yeah.
like if we were living, let's say 2000, 3000 years ago, we had much more time and we could spend hours meditating.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we don't have that kind of time. So
No.
nature knows this, and so it brought forth this technique,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
yeah,
and I just want to, I always want to just kind of rebut that because
yes,
you're right. Many of us believe we don't have time because
mm,
most of us spend a lot of time,
yeah,
right, on our phones. We have the time, but where do we focus our time? Right.
yeah,
And that's a big thing that we need to ask ourselves is what are we prioritizing in our lives? And if we don't ever ask that, no,
yes,
you're not going to have. And what did Buddha say? He said, if you can't meditate if you don't have time to meditate for 10 minutes, meditate for an hour, right?
yes, yes. No, that's it's true. See, the thing is, many of us we have the intention to do it, but
Yeah.
just our minds are so busy,
Yes,
right?
they trick us.
That
They're very tricky.
the mind is tricky. Also, like you mentioned, cell phones, the people who design cell phones and design the apps
Yeah.
are also using our, the circuitry in our brain to trick us into sticking more with them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
it's
need some solid ground to say, okay, it's not for a lack of will, it's not for a lack of
yeah.
intention,
Right.
but just having some practical tools and techniques helps, yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Oh, no, absolutely. And what I love about that too is when you get to really experience it, you get the evidence for yourself. And
Yes,
it almost helps you break away from
yes,
those patterns and habits that don't necessarily serve you, but we're doing the best we can. I mean, we're really being taken advantage of in so many ways by technology and and this fear that's just sprayed everywhere. It's like we have to find our solid ground. I love
yes.
that. It's like coming to find our solid ground.
Yeah, yeah. And the solid ground is within. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So,
That's the only place we can find it, right? Because we've been looking. I
yeah,
know I have everywhere for it,
yes.
self-help books and people and relationships and material things. It's never there. It's never there. It never lasts,
You know,
right? But
in
here,
in in India, the example that we give or people give is there's a deer. It's called the musk deer. I don't know if you've heard of. So
mhm.
this deer, it has a particular gland in its navel that emits the smell of musk. Okay. But what the deer does is his entire life he keeps running looking for the source of that smell, not realizing it's coming
No
from its
way.
own navel.
No way. You're kidding me.
I mean, in a way, we are like that, right? We
Hilarious.
it is hilarious, but that's what we do too.
That's
We
what we're
look
doing.
right.
That
We look for happiness somewhere
Yes.
outside.
Oh, that
Right.
is such a beautiful analogy. Oh my goodness, it truly is. Yeah.
Right? I mean, we look for or the other example people give. So this is a joke. I think it originated somewhere in the Middle East, but usually they say. So this one guy, his name is Mullah Nasruddin. There are many stories of Mullah Nasruddin. Okay, so one day he's in the street under a lamp looking for his keys. Right, he's searching for something, and somebody comes to him and asks, Mullah, what are you searching for? He said, Oh, I'm looking for my keys that I lost. Right. And then, the guy asks him, okay, but where did you lose them? He said, oh, I lost them inside my house. He said, but why are you looking outside in the street? He said, "Oh, because this is where light is, right?" In many ways, this is what we do.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
hook our happiness on something that is outside. Like, oh,
yeah,
when this happens, then I'll be happy, right?
yeah.
There's no end to it. There's no end to it. You know,
The
just,
only end to it is that realization and and knowing that now is the only time,
yeah,
right? It's the
yeah,
only time to do all the things, and I relate, like I did that for a very long time with meditation and with really going in. I'm going to wait until this is better, until I have more space. And it really, I just started with 5 minutes a
yeah,
day. That was
yeah,
it. And then
yeah.
it grew and grew and grew. And then you start to connect to that source. And it's almost like you're plugging in to a limitless source of love. And you
Yes,
plug in and and it charges you up. And
yes,
and 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 then there's nothing more important than charging into that love within
yes.
yourself. There's nothing else it's just so beautiful. I want that for everybody. I know you do too, Vivek.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, like I would even say it's not even like you are plugging into a source. It's at some point you are that, right? You are that source. Like
Yes.
this is another thing Gurudev would say, says we keep looking for love,
Mm.
but love is not an emotion. Like, love is the substance that we are made up of. Right?
Mm.
Joy
It's
is
like,
the substance we're made up of. Right?
yes, I
So
love that.
it's just like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah, that feels so good. I really believe that in my bones, like that to be the truth. Like we are that
yeah.
already, which we seek. The only thing that's keeping us there is we've forgotten,
We
or we
forgot.
just haven't realized it yet. But you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and we
I
need
mean,
the tools. We need the tools in order to really, because we have to rewire,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
ourselves, and we have to like and I love the tools that the art of living offers, because it really feels like concrete steps that people can take to truly move in back to themselves.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the thing I was going to say, like sometimes people ask, like, oh, how do you know you are love? I'm like, look at any newborn baby, right? We call them a bundle of joy, a bundle of love.
Yeah.
That's how we were too, right?
Yes,
Just like
that's
oozing love,
our
right?
origin.
That's
Yeah.
origin. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I do think, well, for the most part, and maybe not everyone, but we come from that beautiful place, and then we go through our lives and we learn all the things we're not, right? And then eventually you realize all these things that you've been taught and told are lies and illusion, and eventually you realize the only place you haven't looked is inside. And so eventually, hopefully, I pray that for everyone, is we go in and we
yeah.
find that, and then we become a child again.
Yes,
We really
yes.
do. We
Yeah,
become the child that just clear, beautiful, innocent child that's here to play and have
yes.
fun and be joyful.
Yeah, it's possible for us to have that combination of the innocence and
Mhm.
the wisdom, right?
Yes, yes,
It's
I love that.
yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, like part of growing up is becoming wiser, right? But if
Definitely.
we don't stay in touch with the wisdom, then we can either become confused or crooked, right?
Yes,
So,
totally. Or we go on the same path again that we already went on. Like, I don't want to be crooked, so
yeah,
yeah,
I know.
I
Yeah,
feel that, Vivek. That's really beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, what about children? Do you see a lot of children doing this type of work?
So, the Art of Living has programs for children also. And I want to mention two things here. One is a program, it's actually in schools. It's called Sky Schools. And, the volunteers and you know, people are going into schools and teaching the teachers and teaching the kids.
That's
In
cool.
fact, just about last in December, I taught a program to in the city of Albuquerque. There's a group called School Based Violence Intervention Program.
Mhm.
So these are people who have had lived experiences of either violence or like parents being incarcerated or whatever, and the city has employed a group of them to go into schools to be able to talk to kids, right? So I taught this staff, the sky breathing and some other tools that they could share with the kids. But so the point being, like, there are programs for kids.
Yeah.
They can learn the kids version of the sky breath, right?
Hmm.
Or the teens version of sky breath. Those are different. And the other important program that the Art of Living has brought out, it's called the Intuition Program, and
Hmm.
that is my absolute favorite program for kids. Like we were talking about, oh, we are not taught how to handle negative emotions. The
Yeah.
other thing that we are not taught is A, we have an intuition. B,
Yeah.
you can trust it, right? So,
Yes.
right. So this
I
is
love
this is
that.
a program which gives again practical tools for the kids to enhance their intuition,
Mhm.
and they do some exercises, some like, yeah, just exercises so that they can develop trust on their own intuition. And
I
it's a
love.
fabulous program. In like in India, I was hearing the story just recently. They taught this program to kids who were born blind, like they could never see, right? And as a result of the program, they started seeing, like they didn't need braille anymore
I
to
love that.
read, right?
Yes.
So their eyes are still not functioning,
Yeah.
but even with the eyes not functioning, they can see what is around. They can identify colors,
Yeah.
right? The inner the inner
That's
eye opens, you could
that's
say.
amazing. I've heard so much about that that
Yeah,
we can use our consciousness is not bound by our
by
senses. It's so
senses.
much
Yes,
bigger than that.
yes,
And yeah, that's really beautiful. I
yeah,
truly believe that. Wow. That's so
yes.
cool. So
Also, especially in our current day and age, where many of the kids are being labeled as ADD, or, like not being able to focus and all of that. This program really addresses some of those things. The
yeah,
focus improves like nothing else. It's just fabulous. I think,
that's beautiful.
I mean, the kids definitely, like, I'm excited about the next generation who has access to these tools right from a young age,
Yeah.
and the world that it's going to create, right? Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
the like, okay, being able to trust that, oh, there is an inner voice in me that always guides me in, to what is right, what is beneficial for me. Imagine like going through life with that kind of certainty that, okay, yeah,
Oh
right,
my gosh.
issues with peer pressure go away, issues with, like,
Yeah.
substance abuse go away, because there is a voice that is there. I mean, it's the voice is there for all of us, but you've learned how to listen to it and trust it.
Trust it
So,
and you take action. And
and
yeah,
take
you
action.
trust
Yeah,
it. I love that
yeah,
so much. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. We all can relate to that having the gut feeling and
yeah,
knowing what it is
yeah,
when we don't
yeah.
trust it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
Oh,
we
this
have
happened.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this happened just this morning. I was driving my son to school, and we were running a little late. And he's like, "Dad, don't go up to the light. Turn before, right?" And I didn't pay attention to it. I went to the light, and it was red, and we had to wait for another minute, right? So, so I was telling him, "Yeah, I should have listened." And he
I
gave me
love
that look.
that.
Like, yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful that he has that. He knows that. Like
yeah.
that's one of the biggest gifts we can truly teach our children is to
Yes,
listen to that. And but in order to teach them, we have to be connected to that inner voice first, you
yes,
know. We have
yes.
to like live in the way that we want our children to be. We have to really embody that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so
yeah.
beautiful. So where Vivek can, we're gonna actually put a link right
Mhm.
down below where people can
Yes,
access the Sky Breath
yes.
and the courses, and also learn about any events or anything in their area. Do you guys? I know you do online events. There's also, I know you just did an event here in Albuquerque. So there's a lot of opportunities to get into this type of work and just start
Yes.
understanding it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the easiest way is to just go www.artofliving.org.
Perfect.
That's the easiest. You know, you can find programs in your area, and if you live in an area where there are no programs, there are also online programs.
Yeah,
Um, I would say if there's a choice between online and in person, go for the in person. Like, I
definitely.
mean, it's,
It's
yeah,
the best. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming and being a guest and just sharing your wisdom and your light and just this path that people have access to. I'm just so grateful that you're here today.
Thank you for making, inviting me and giving me that opportunity. Yeah.
It's my honor. It's my
Yes.
honor, Vivek.
Yeah.
Well, and and you're welcome to come on again when there's new,
Yes.
things. I'm sure there's so much. I feel like we could talk forever, but I want to keep this in a length that people can consume it. And
Yes. Yes.
yeah, so I really appreciate. I'm going to make sure all the things we talked about, links and that sort of thing. Also, the documentary that you mentioned, I'll go ahead and
Yes.
put that on the show notes. Sound
Yeah.
good?
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right.
All
Okay,
right.
everyone. Thank you so much. And we'll catch everybody in the next Hippie Moms podcast. Thank you, Vivek.